In the first few seconds after startup? That's right. Most engines don't die on the road from high speeds or long trips, but rather from the little mistakes drivers make every morning when they turn the key or press the start button. The truth is, what you do in those first 30 seconds can decide whether your engine lasts 100,000 miles or 500,000 miles. Yet, most drivers unknowingly abuse their engines without realizing it and setting themselves up for expensive repairs. In this video, we will uncover the most 11 common startup mistakes that silently destroy your engine and explain how simple habit changes can keep your car running like new for decades. Let's dive in. Mistake 11. Revving the engine immediately after start. Many drivers love the sound of their engine roaring to life, so the first thing they do is stomp on the accelerator. But this is one of the worst things you can do. When you first start your car, the oil is cold and hasn't fully circulated through the engine yet. That means all those moving parts, such as pistons, valves, bearings, are rubbing against each other with minimal lubrication. Revving the engine at this moment creates extreme friction and wear. Over time, this habit can scar cylinder walls and shorten engine life dramatically. Instead, let the car idle smoothly for at least 30 seconds before giving it gas, especially in cold weather. Mistake 10. Ignoring the warning lights during start. We've all seen those mysterious dashboard lights flicker on when we start the car. But here's the thing. Most drivers don't even glance at them. Big mistake. Those lights aren't just for decoration. They're a built-in system check. When you first turn the key, every warning light should briefly illuminate as a system check. If you ignore them and drive off without paying attention, you might be missing an urgent signal, like low oil pressure or a failing alternator. Imagine driving with no oil pressure. It takes only a few miles to completely seize the engine, leaving you with a repair bill in the thousands. People who skip this step are gambling with their car's life. Mistake 9. Starting the car with accessories. Another silent killer is leaving your headlights, AC, or sound system on while starting the car. When you turn that key, your starter motor already draws a huge surge of electricity from the battery. If your lights, radio, and AC blower are running at the same time, you're putting an unnecessary strain on the battery and alternator. Over time, this weakens the battery faster and stresses electrical components. This habit may not destroy your engine directly, but when your battery fails or alternator wears out, your engine is left vulnerable to rough starts and misfires that accelerate wear. Always switch off accessories before turning the ignition. Mistake 8. Holding the key in the start position too long. We've all been there, turning the key a little too long because we weren't sure the engine caught. But this tiny mistake can have big consequences. When you hold the key too long, the starter motor keeps grinding against the flywheel. Not only does this damage the starter teeth, but it also shakes the engine violently, putting stress on mounts and bearings. Replace a starter once, and you'll feel the pain in your wallet. The proper way is simple. Turn the key just until the engine fires, then release immediately. For push-button cars, don't keep holding it down. Just press and let the system handle it. This one small habit change can save you from unnecessary repairs and keep your engine starting smooth for years. Mistake 7. Pressing the gas pedal while starting. Older drivers often pump the gas pedal while starting the car, because in carburetor days, it helped prime the engine. But with modern fuel injection, this is completely unnecessary and actually harmful. Pressing the gas dumps extra fuel into the combustion chamber, creating a mixture that's too rich. This excess fuel washes away the thin protective layer of oil from the cylinder walls. Not only does this cause harder starts, but it also accelerates wear inside your engine. In severe cases, it can even flood the engine, leaving you stranded. The right way to start a modern car is simple. Foot off the gas, turn the key, and let the ECU manage everything. Trust the computer. It knows exactly how much fuel the engine needs. Mistake 6. Frequent short trips with repeated starts. If you constantly start your car for short drives, you're actually harming your engine. Why? Because your engine never reaches proper operating temperature, meaning moisture and unburned fuel stay inside the oil and exhaust system. Over time, this causes sludge buildup, rust in the exhaust, and accelerated oil breakdown. The solution is simple. Combine errands into longer trips, or once in a while, take your car on a proper 20 to 30-minute drive to let everything burn off and fully warm up. Mistake 5. Repeatedly cranking the engine when it won't start. We've all been there. You turn the key, and the engine doesn't start. Instinctively, you keep cranking again and again, hoping it will eventually fire up. But this can be extremely harmful. Every crank dumps more unburned fuel into the cylinders, washing away the protective oil film and flooding the spark plugs. It also overheats the starter motor and drains the battery rapidly. A mechanic once said, "If it doesn't start in 3 tries, you're not fixing it, you're breaking it." Give the car a pause, or you'll risk bigger problems than just a no start. Mistake 4. Starting the car with the steering turned fully to one side. This is one of those hidden mistakes almost nobody talks about. When you start your car with the steering wheel cranked all the way left or right, you're putting the power steering pump under maximum pressure at the exact moment your engine is weakest. This heavy load drags directly on your engine, forcing it to struggle before the oil has even fully circulated. Over time, this habit can weaken your serpentine belt, wear out your power steering pump, and even cause premature leaks in hoses and seals. The smarter move is to always start with the wheel straight, then turn once the engine has stabilized. It's a simple adjustment that saves costly repairs. Mistake 3. Starting with old or thin engine oil. One overlooked startup killer is old, dirty, or low viscosity oil. When oil loses its thickness, it can't maintain a protective film on metal surfaces. This means that during startup, your pistons, valves, and bearings scrape against each other with almost no protection. Old oil also contains dirt and sludge that scrape like sandpaper inside the engine. If you keep starting with bad oil, you will notice accelerated wear, noisy startups, and an engine that ages years faster than it should. The fix is easy. Stick to timely oil changes and always use the correct viscosity recommended by your manufacturer. It's the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy for your engine's longevity. Mistake 2. Starting the car in gear. For those who drive manuals, one of the most dangerous mistakes is trying to start the car while it's still in gear. Not only can this cause the car to lurch forward or backward unexpectedly, but it also puts unnecessary strain on the starter motor and clutch. That sudden jolt forces the engine to fight against the wheels. Over time, this weakens the clutch plate, damages the transmission, and can even break engine mounts. That's why mechanics always recommend pressing the clutch fully when starting. One small habit can prevent years of damage. Mistake 1. Starting with low battery power. Many drivers don't realize how harmful a weak battery can be for their engine. When your battery is dying, the starter motor struggles, forcing the engine to crank slowly and unevenly. These hard starts mean incomplete combustion, raw fuel getting into the exhaust, and added strain on the starter itself. Do this enough times and you'll have fouled spark plugs, worn-out starters, and carbon buildup inside the engine. It's not just an electrical issue. It directly affects engine health. Replace the battery or get it recharged before it takes down other expensive parts with it. That's all for this video.